Welcome to the Deepers Creepers podcast, where we like to get high and talk about horror movies. I'm Casey.
I'm Jess.
And I'm a dirty birdie. Oh, fuck, you're gonna make me caw!
Can you shut the cluck up?
Oh! What are you doing, step bird?
You're ruffling my fucking feathers right now. I'm over it.
This whole fucking podcast is going to be puns. Shut it off now if that bothers you.
If you don't like puns.
There is nothing that's going to stop it on this podcast.
You know, I hate to egg you on.
A lot of puns and a lot of moaning.
Yeah. These jokes are a dime a dozen.
I get it. Yeah, that one.
This week we are covering Hatching, which was released in 2022.
And surprise, Zach's back.
Hey!
I really think he just an alien pooped him out and he hatched. So this is
That's
a great
fair.
movie.
He hasn't left my house since the last podcast.
We can't get rid of him.
I'm very hungry.
I'm scared.
I gotta
get back in your cage.
Cut that shit out.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a bird in a cage.
Oh, no.
Oh, you fucking bitch.
That was almost as good as,
Oh my god, I'm so mad.
That was almost as good as... I ain't seen the sunshine in 3 damn days. Sorry, that's
It's... Okay, well, we should tell the people.
Okay.
Jess and I used to work together at Hopcat many moons ago.
I also worked there.
Yes, that's how we all met and became friends.
I like
It's a magical place to meet lifelong friends.
And then leave forever.
And gain a lot of trauma.
Yeah, deep dish PTSD. But anyway, one day I'm in the kitchen and I'm talking to one of the servers about baby Jessica.
And
the server had never heard of baby Jessica because she was born in 1992. And
okay,
I know you're young and you still heard of her, but like not everyone's as evolved as you.
Oh, that's true.
So anyway, I'm talking to this girl. I don't even remember who it was, but I was like, yeah, baby Jessica was a national nightmare. And it was the first time CNN ever went 24 hours. Everyone in America and all over the world really was glued to the TV. And I said, they eventually saved her from the well, which it was really a storm pipe, but well sounds better. And I said, they eventually saved her, but she was stuck in that well for 72 hours. And from across the kitchen, this fucking bitch says, I ain't seen the sunshine in 3 damn days. And I fucking collapsed. Like my legs turned to jelly and I just fell out. It's the hardest I've ever laughed in that building. I was at Hopcat for 5 or 6 years.
I'll take that.
And I laughed harder in that moment than I did my entire tenure at that place.
That makes me feel excellent.
Oh my god.
Did we even say what we're covering yet?
I did, yes.
Oh, did
cool.
you? Okay. Hatching.
It's about birds, so
Jess is a fucking gem. I just want the world to know what a gem this woman sitting next to
I quite
is.
like her.
She's great. Anyway,
thanks.
Do you have the IMDb pulled up?
Yeah, I don't know what I did with it.
That's okay.
I was distracted by
we'll
all
edit
the
this
puns.
in post.
Yeah, right. I leave all the dumb shit in if you haven't noticed.
We love it.
I
We
mean,
wouldn't
Jess
have
is
it any
here.
other way.
Yes.
Go! Slow burn! Slow burn!
No, I heard that shit. She didn't hear that
I
shit.
heard it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Jess is here.
Anyway.
You can't hurt my feelings
So
because I'm
Hatching-
fucking unstoppable. Okay.
Hatching is a Finnish film.
Yes, it is. It came out last year. I go to the movies a lot. I've said that a lot. I saw the trailer a bunch of times when I was seeing other movies and told my friend Katie about it. Said, we absolutely have to go see this together. This is 100% our kind of movie. And it was everything I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Yes, it is a Finnish film. Starring, I'm gonna fuck up all these names, but her first name is Siri. She plays Tina. Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Truly.
One of
She
the
plays
best
dual
child
roles.
actors I've ever seen.
Yes.
In any genre. Just
I'm not gonna try with
incredible.
these last names, but the actress who plays the mother is Sophia She reminds me a lot of Naomi Watts.
I can see
Ooh.
that.
And, like,
yeah.
she does a great job in this role. She is very villainous in a pristine...
Oh, yeah.
Suburban white mom villain.
Yes.
Very,
Stepford wife.
100%.
Wisteria Lane gave me, like, big Desperate Housewives vibes.
Yes.
There was always something crackling just beneath the surface. Like, no matter how perfect she made herself look, no matter how perfectly she curated her life to look pristine, you could always see her coming undone in her eyes. I was super impressed by her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so good. So this is obviously a Finnish film director. Her name is Hanna Bergholm. She was the writer and director of this. Wow. I mean, wow, this is the first movie I've seen of hers, because obviously she has written a lot of Finnish films and directed a lot of Finnish films. Story by is... So she helped write and directed. The original story is by Ilja Rautsi.
Which I bet it's like some fucked up Finnish fairy tale.
Oh
she
my
adapted.
god, I
Like,
bet it
it's
is.
I would kind of love to get my hands on like an old leather-bound copy of that book just to fuck myself up.
I'm going to
bed.
show you guys really quick a poster for this that I have not seen until just now. It's terrifying.
Let me see.
Oh.
I had only ever seen a picture of her with the egg. This is scary as shit. I
That
will
is-
upload this. This
yeah.
might end up being the
That's giving
thumbnail for this month.
Yeah,
That's
that's
terrifying.
giving funny games. That's giving the
100%.
Purge.
Very funny games.
Very funny games,
Which
which we
Naomi
fucking
Watts.
love.
Yeah.
There you go.
so-
Ciao,
Yes, so I have a lot of thoughts on this movie. I told both of them about it, wanted them to watch it because not enough people have seen this, and it is on Hulu right now. Go watch it. I will say something right now. When you go to Hulu, if you watch this on Hulu, I don't know about any other streaming service. When you go to Hulu, it will probably automatically start playing an audio description, meaning the thing that is typically used for visually impaired people who need the audio description of, they're in an all-white kitchen, blah, blah, blah. You can change that to an English subtitled, so they're just speaking in Finnish and it's subtitled. You can change that, which is what we did. Two of the three of us
did.
I just thought it was weird. I wrote down weird narration.
It says weird narration. But didn't look into fixing it.
It didn't automatically. Why would I look at fixing it?
I did.
Listen, I clicked the subtitle button and I looked for 2 seconds and it said I just saw it was switched on. So I was like, something's broken. And it was my brain.
Girl, if it makes you feel any better, Robert and I watched Captain Phillips because I had never seen it and I really wanted to see it. And the version they released on HBO Max doesn't have subtitles for what the Somali pirates are saying. So the entire time I just had to guess.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, it made it better for me.
I
watched it with Robert and he hated it. He was like, I can't believe we're watching this without subtitles. And I was like, I think it lends... Sorry, I had pudding an hour ago. I think it, lends something to the movie when you don't know what they're saying. Especially if it's in a foreign language and it involves an American because you're going through the exact same thing as them.
Okay, so did either of you see the new Prey? I think I
loved
asked this
it.
a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Okay, I loved it.
I thought it was stellar.
It was amazing.
There are parts of it where the French fur trappers are speaking, and it's not subtitles. If you don't speak French, you don't know what they're saying. There is also a full Comanche dub of that movie, and I want to watch it so bad. Without any subtitles, I've already seen it, so I know what's going on. I want to watch that Comanche dub.
So do I.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god, Amber Midthunder. I have such a huge, ginormous, huge crush on her.
She is breathtaking.
100%.
And just fucking killed it. Yeah.
And honorable mention, the puppy.
They adopted that puppy, and it was just like a dog that they adopted, and everybody was like, we wish you used more of the dog. And they're like, we used every frame of the dog that he wasn't, like, biting the shit out of someone or, like, just being a dog.
Yeah.
Because he's not a trained actor dog. He's just a fucking dog.
Just
It's
a
like
cutie.
when the Saint Bernard who played Cujo wouldn't stop wagging his tail because he was so happy and they had to tie it down.
Oh.
Because he was
just too
supposed to
much
be
of a
like
good boy.
ominous, and he was just a little boy one.
He's
Yeah.
just a little boy.
screeches.
He's like, everybody looks so scared. What's going on?
Right?
It's like the dogs
What's on my
that...
face?
It's like the dogs that fail the canine training
Yeah.
because they're just like...
They're just like licking the criminals.
or they're like biting at the like wheels of like a wheelchair or something because they're just like, let's play.
All right.
Um,
Anyways, I really think that we should put all the small talk to nest and move on.
Hatching 2022.
So I
We're gonna-
knew nothing about this movie.
Me
Which is
either.
the best way to go into
Yeah.
it.
Honestly, I didn't know it existed. I had never seen a trailer. I didn't even read a description on Hulu.
Mhm.
Basically, Casey said, do you want to do another podcast with us? And I said, absolutely. Of 10s across the board, of course I do. But like, I said, what are we covering? And she goes, Hatching. It's on Hulu. You're welcome. And I was
God.
like, okay. So I had no idea. And then I watched it, and the very first thing I wrote down is, what the fuck have they made me watch? And that was like 3 minutes in. That was before anything weird happened. Well, it's sorry to our Finnish listeners, or Guten Nagen, Lil Nugen. I just made that up.
Wow.
God, you were really in it with me, though. You are
I
dumb.
guess. We've already established I'm dumb. I guess you're in there with me now.
For sure.
We can't both be the boobs. Someone's got to be the brains.
I have no boobs.
I left mine
So what
at
do you-
home.
I am
That's true.
here.
It's your house.
I edited the goddamn
It's your podcast room.
I didn't say you didn't matter. Zach did.
Fair enough. So,
Anyway.
Moving on. So this movie begins, with telling you that this family is fake.
Mhm.
This is a family who has consumed influencer culture in its most potent form
Mhm.
to its most extreme and toxic eventuality,
Mhm.
which is probably the smartest sentence I've ever said on this podcast, but it's so true. Like, this woman documents every part of their life. Her daughter is a perfect gymnast. She has this blog. They all wear perfect white. They're all mirror
Cute.
clones of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The little boy dressed exactly like the dad with the same glasses. Like it,
And the sweaters.
it gave me a moment.
And
like,
the mom had all the mom and daughter. Yeah.
And it was very Kris Jenner. Like she was very pick me.
Oh my
And
God.
like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
she wants to be Kris Jenner. That's
Yeah.
the thing. That is
Yeah.
her dream.
She was an aspiring momager.
Yes.
And it was really, it made me really uncomfortable straight out the gate
Mhm.
because, you know, I kind of dealt with that during my preteen years and my adolescence, you know, like, I lived with my dad and my stepmom and my stepbrother, and we tried to convey this image of success and having our shit together, and we were so fucking broken. And so like seeing it play out on the screen, it made the hair on my arm stand up. There were so many little moments in this movie where I was just like, oh, that's too real.
Because
Yeah.
it's so over the top, but it's so real.
Yeah.
It is so...
Yeah. It's absurd, but it is grounded in just this pure reality.
100%.
And
I said, oh my God, the mom has a vlog that is so white of her.
Yeah.
That's some white people shit.
I said this family sure loves to tickle each other because there's like a tickle fight on camera. They're like, and I was like, fucking tickle me. I dare you. I dare you.
But can we also talk about how in the start of this fucking movie, A goddamn bird flew in the house.
Yep.
That is the incitingest incident of this movie. Is
And-
a bird crashing through the window of
Yep.
their living room, mid-vlog,
Mhm.
which obviously pisses the mom off.
Her perfect little house. All her
it does
bases.
destroy a lot of things.
Her vase.
Yes.
I mean, the chandelier.
Yeah.
You know,
Wasn't a very good chandelier for fucking little bird touching it makes it fall.
I feel like at least, maybe I'm being generous, 8 out of 10 people, bird comes in your house, you catch the bird in it, like safely
Get
in a
towel
blanket.
or
Or like,
blanket.
Like,
at least
if you-
push
if
it
you
out
have
with
caught
a
the bird.
broom.
yeah.
You're gonna take it outside, okay? Like, at least 8 out of 10 people ish.
Yeah, like
This bird has pissed her off. If it had happened maybe at any other time other than mid-vlog, I don't know what would have happened, but it may not have been what happened because Tina, one of the only people in the family that has a name, Tina and Taro, her younger brother, the other are just mother and father, Tina brings the bird over to her and she snaps its neck. And Tina is visibly, like, upset by
As
this.
anyone would be as a child watching their mom snap a bird's neck.
Yeah, absolutely. And so she's like, okay, go throw it outside. Compost bin.
Also, white people shit. I'm so sorry. Everyone can compost, but
I made sure to jot down that a bird in the house is one of my worst nightmares.
Yeah.
birds are scary.
Birds are terrifying up close. And especially when they're in your house. Do you want to know what happened to me once?
You're going to tell us anyways.
Probably. I was in my truck. I was working at a fast food joint at the time. Midsummer, gorgeous day. And I had my windows halfway down-ish. And I was just enjoying the music, listening to the radio on my lunch break. And a bird flew into my car and couldn't get out. And it passed in front of me back and forth like 3 times. And I'm just like, I started out freaking out. And then I was like, maybe take a gentle approach. And I eventually got the bird out of there. But that shit stays with you. And I didn't think I was going to like get triggered by just like a bird flying into someone else's house in a movie. But that shit fucked me up.
Have you seen The Birds?
Yes. And that didn't scare me.
Okay, but the scene upstairs when Tippi Hedren is in that room and she looks up and sees the hole. Okay, that's scary. I don't care who you are. Anyway, we're not watching The Birds. We're watching The Birds 2 hatching.
Truly.
The Birds 2 back in the habit.
No. So right after this, we see Tina going up to her mother, who is kind of editing / watching their little vlog that she put together. I wrote, how much of your life do you live for yourself and how much do you live for other people and your image? I think especially in the year of our Lord 2023, that is such a huge thing. Just like the idea of how often do you go somewhere, and I am not judging anyone. I do the same thing. I am asking myself these questions as well. How often do you go somewhere and not take a picture and upload that picture of where you were? How often do you do something without posting about it or even just telling a lot of people about it? How many of those things do you do for yourself?
Yes.
And how many of those things do you do because you want other people to know you did them? And I catch myself doing that a lot, thinking, oh, I need to post this, and then thinking, just live in the goddamn moment. I've done that at the last few concerts I've been at. Like, maybe take a few videos and, like, pictures, but, like, I really just try to live there. And this is one of those movies that, like, it's not, like, super in your face to where it's shoving it down your throat, but you don't have to look very hard for these messages. And it makes you, like, look at yourself. Like, these are obviously an extreme, version of this, but people like this obviously exist. But everyone, to an extent, feels these things and has these problems in the modern age, and it's something that makes you like, oh shit, you can kind of be the mom in your own way. You can kind of be the villain of your own story, even when you don't mean to be. Because,
like, if you do curate this, like, perfect existence for yourself on social media, and, I mean, I'm guilty of it too, like, whenever I go anywhere, like, another state, another country, a concert, whatever it may be, it's like, yeah, you want to, like, convey this image of success and happiness and tranquility, no matter how opposite you may be in the moment. There's a really good picture of me fully dissociating in Hawaii. Like, I'm in paradise, and I'm just blank. I'm just dead inside. I was like, ooh, don't post that one.
Oh, if you all look hard enough at some of these videos, every once in a while, it'll just...
Yep.
And that's no one's fault other than my own.
I've seen all three of us do it multiple times, and so that was. It wasn't. I thought kind of what you said. Like, it wasn't heavy-handed the way they handled that metaphor. It just was.
Whereas sometimes The Purge can be a little over. Like, I love that franchise, love them all, but they explicitly state over and over again, like, the point of these movies, which is fine because it works for those movies. But sometimes you don't need to be hit over the head with it. But it's also not like, I don't know. I would say Nope is not super behind. Like, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but there were a lot of people that didn't get that movie and the messages behind it because he's not beating you over the head with it. But his movies are very smart. Like,
and his storytelling abilities are just
unbelievable.
We see Jordan Peele in this
100%.
Big
time.
It's funny that you said The Purge, because I wrote down, if this were made in America, it would be a sequel to The Purge and it would suck.
Yes.
But because it's Finnish and it's about a fucking killer bird. Oh, God.
Bird girl. Katie
hey.
and I left the theater chanting, bird girl, bird girl, bird girl.
Very
She's
much
my new
like
superhero.
Very much like Casey and I during Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear.
Which you can watch on our channel.
So anyway, later that evening, Tina is sleeping in her bed. She hears some screeching. She goes back out to look in the trash can. Bird is not there, the one that she put in the trash earlier. She follows its little trail.
Never a good sign.
Right.
Oh my god, the saddest fucking thing. This bird is so broken and just like inching its way back to its nest. And just like, if that in itself is not a metaphor for just life.
Yeah.
And
That's how I feel right now.
Just like that. Like, like the bird knows instinctively it's gonna die. Like, it has to. But, like, there's just some part that just, like,
pulls it to the
gotta just
nest,
get it back. And so Tina does kill the bird, puts it out of its misery. Probably the right thing to do in that scenario.
Right.
Finds an egg.
But it's fucking brutal. Like, because she doesn't kill it the first time.
This movie's gruesome.
And she just keeps
smashing its head with a rock.
Going nuts.
They don't have the same people behind the scenes that America does telling them, oh, no. A lot of these kind of movies, and I assume this is probably an independent film, they're like, you show that bird. You get more blood on that bird. Get a bigger rock.
Yep.
Make sure she doesn't kill it the first time.
Right.
Ooh, it was,
Ouch.
Yeah.
And then she notices next to the dead bird, there's a nest that has a little eggy in there.
Yes.
And she's like, I'm going to take that little egg home.
Yes.
I'm going to make an omelet.
She gets home, and every time she's with the egg, they said most of the trailer was watching the egg grow, and every time she would be with it, she, in Finnish, of course, would whisper, I'm going to take care of you. And so, yeah, she takes this egg home, And we see these little interactions between, like, Tina and the dad are so awkward.
So weird.
So, I mean, more awkward than you and a guy in the elevator who just farted. I mean, it is like they don't know each other and, like, are cordial.
I have
but,
no
like,
idea how to relate to each other.
None whatsoever. And the dad doesn't try, and Tina doesn't know how. She's just a little robot of her mother's design.
I mean, and vice versa. The mom, like, you can tell she, like, has so much distaste for her son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she wants nothing to do with him. Like,
Well,
he
she
hugs
hates
her
her.
once, and she's like, get off me. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Jesus!
She hates her son because he reminds her so much of her husband, who
yeah.
she really fucking hates.
But
Oh, God.
But she needed the son, and she needs the husband, because without that, she doesn't have that perfect image.
Yeah.
life.
Perfect
She
cookie-cutter
needs that
family.
cookie-cutter family, absolutely. So we are watching, for the first half of this first quarter of this movie, first third maybe, we are watching this egg grow bigger as she hides it. She is taking care of it. The mother just continually awful to her. Like I said earlier, the little girl is a gymnast. She gets a new neighbor friend. Her name is Retta, who is also a gymnast and is a lot better than Tina. And
Mom doesn't
the
like that.
disdain that she has for her child, for Tina, when she doesn't get the flips right, makes her practice incessantly.
Yeah.
Literally lives through her child, like you
Tina's
can't believe.
Tina's in the opening scene when Tina's doing her stretches in the living room. You can see how wildly unhealthy this little girl
Yeah.
is.
100%.
She is skin and bones. When she bends over, you
Her
can see
spine.
every bone in her spine. And I was like,
That was uncomfy.
Well, she's like 13
was-
years old, and her
yeah.
entire breakfast was a grapefruit.
half a grapefruit.
Half a grapefruit, yes.
And the
half
dad,
of a grapefruit.
I wrote that down because the dad was eating bacon and eggs.
Yes.
And I was like, isn't it funny that in any language, no matter what, they'll let you know that a character's on a diet by having them eat half a grapefruit.
Oh
like
my
that
God,
is such
yes.
a movie trope.
Yes.
And bonus points if someone else at the breakfast table is eating like fatty bacon.
Bacon and eggs.
Bacon is my favorite. I'll pick bacon over a grapefruit any goddamn day of the week.
Yep.
Trust.
We find out pretty early on that the mom is having an affair with
Tara.
Oh,
Taro. I thought was the
Taro
son's name.
is the other man.
No, what was
Taro's
the
the hot
son's
man.
name? Oh, anyway, Taro.
Oh,
God,
it's
he's
probably
sexy.
like
So
Stu
hot.
Vaughan.
Just go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
Matthias.
Matthias. Yes. So, Taro. So she is having an affair with this man who is beautiful. He is,
Goddamn.
and like he's so great.
I know.
I love him.
I was like, I didn't.
He's such a
I really liked Taro.
He's
I
the
really
most
liked Taro.
like put together
Of the
character
entire
in this
movie.
movie.
the
Like,
most normal
he's
person.
the only one that's balanced.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
a
just
widower.
lost his wife
Mhm.
and has a newborn baby, and yet he's the most balanced
Exactly.
and normal person.
That's
Yeah.
saying something.
So at one
That'll
point,
come back.
yeah. So she kind of gaslights her daughter into the whole. It's not that big of a deal.
Keeping her secret.
It's just a little secret between girls.
Yeah.
Just
Don't tell your father.
Yes,
We're not going to tell him where we're going this weekend. And then she takes
Later-
her
yeah.
daughter to a fucking booty call.
yeah.
And
Well,
ugh.
even before that, she tells Tina, she's like, I'm in love. I've never felt like this before. I've never loved another person like this. Telling your child that. And the Tina kind of smiles because
She thinks that
she
she's
thinks
talking
it's
about
her dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, Tara is just so awesome. And
Her face
again, this
drops.
little girl's face. She's
Her face
just
acting.
incredible.
Amazing.
And you can see the pure horror that she's thinking, what the fuck is happening to my family and my life?
Right.
And like more questions of what is an appropriate relationship to have with your child, what is appropriate to tell, and what is appropriate to lie to them about,
Yes.
and
Super weird.
how much of yourself should you how much of yourself should you give to your children versus your own happiness, and what extremes there can be between the two, and just like so many like extremely difficult topics that this movie is just like brushing right by, but not in a like superficial way, in a this is their life and this is just how it is.
we can't sit here and dissect everything fucked up about them, because it would not be a crisp 87 minutes long. It would be a much longer movie.
Right.
But I actually thought that, this is gonna sound weird, but I thought it was weirdly and unhealthily sweet in its own way that she told Tina she was having an affair, because that meant that she trusted her with that big of a secret. And as fucked up as their dynamic was, and as much as the mom needed therapy and Tina needed therapy, I thought the fact that she shared that with her was her saying the only way she knew how, that like, you're my daughter,
you are
you're
the
my
only
friend,
person in this
you're my
world
confidant.
that I connect with. And because she has molded her and shaped her and built her into
her
the
image.
perfect little daughter that she needs her to be. And I think it's very, very, very what's the word I'm thinking of? It's very intentional that we never once hear from or see the vlog's audience.
Right.
We don't see comments. We don't see how big her audience is. We don't know. The interesting part about it is we truly don't know if this is an aspiring vlog, if she is completely delusional and thinks she's got all this fame and success and doesn't, if it is a really huge success and she's like viral. Like, and I think it's so important that we don't see that. And we have to just leave that up to our own interpretation. And we are not given any outside view of this family or, like, any outside world, really, other than the little bits we get. But we don't get who the audience is. Because and I think it's important because it very much tells us that we are not her audience. We are an outside audience, but we are not the vlog audience. And we never see them, we don't hear from them. They don't exist to us, and it's not us. Where in a lot of movies, we would be that audience.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Or at the very least, they would show footage of her live streaming, and you would see the comment thread, and you would see how many views.
Or we would see her scrolling through, and it would say 0 comments, 0 views, 0 likes, or something like that. But it's very pointed that we get none of that.
And that's
we have to draw
that's
our
a
own
fantastic point. I didn't think about that when I was watching it. But that's so true.
Yeah, and then so Tina's, devastated by hearing her mom make this confession to her. And so, like we said, the egg has been growing.
It's huge.
So she goes back to her room, and I was like, this is how you know her parents are terrible fucking parents. Because how would... The egg is like a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex egg. Like, terrible parenting. Because... Like, how did the parents not notice this goddamn giant egg?
Because they never go into her room. Because they don't... And I thought that was a cool way to illustrate that. Like, these parents are not tucking their children in. These parents are not reading them bedtime stories. They are not even checking to see if they're in their room.
No.
Much less harboring.
Off camera, they don't exist.
Exactly.
Exactly. Much less harboring a giant egg. I think it's really funny that earlier you brought up fairy tales. Because this is a very fairy tale-like scene in a very fucked up original Hans Christian fairy tale type of way.
Yes.
She cries, and the tears are what cracks the egg.
Yeah, the egg's like soaking, like you can see the tears soaking into, going into the egg like a sponge.
And that's that's when the princess would wake up. That's when SpongeBob and Patrick's tear comes together. I mean that's the thing, and but instead it's Bird Girl.
I said, what the fuck is that creature?
This design is incredible.
God, it's so good.
I mean, she's got the like little wing and the like human arm, and it's like small and hunched over, and it's got like some feathers and the beak, and
it reminded me very much of Jim Henson. Like
yes,
there was something very Fraggle Rock, Shexus,
and I want to say
it
was part animatronic puppet.
Yeah, like
it
you could tell.
CGI.
Yeah, if it had been CGI, it would have looked fake. But because
definitely CG enhanced,
right?
But yeah,
in the way that like Grogu on The Mandalorian is a puppet, that's why everyone loves him.
Yeah,
if he was CGI, people wouldn't give a shit.
Yep,
because the puppet has that touch of realism, and that's how I felt about this.
I mean, Gizmo,
bird.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you loved him, because he was touchable. He was right. You could pluck him right out of the freaking screen.
His eyes and his ears were too big for his face.
Oh, he's so
anything
cute.
with uneven proportions.
The freaking Howie Mandel voice just made it that much better. I love bright light. So Bird Girl jumps out of a window and comes back and got this like giant piece of glass. And it's such a cute scene when Tina like covers her eyes because she gets scared, and then the Bird Girl does the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, cute.
Because they are the same.
Yes.
This is Tina has literally birthed a metaphor. She has birthed every insecurity and like emotional trauma and hatched it. She hatched them into another person.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I feel like I would have gotten a lot more of the depth of this movie if I wasn't watching it. Like, what the fucking... I got none of this. I was just like, this is a fucking bird.
She said, I got none of this.
I got none of this. If I'm being very honest.
Oh my
I feel
gosh,
like
she can tell
you. I'm just going to throw my notebook out the fucking window.
She can tell you all about the kitchen cabinets and other things they described on the screen.
The furrow of the brow, like her face of shock.
You read a movie.
Her blue eyes welled up with tears, and she said, like, what?
"Oh my god!" So you had the full fairy tale experience because you read this whole.
You read an audio. You watched an audiobook. you
mother.
literally watched an audiobook.
Oh my god!
I am so sorry. I got none of this, so I'm just gonna. I'll poke in here and there with my little.
Please tell us. I'm dying to know what you took away.
I kind of want to watch it with the audio description.
I know, me too. I only didn't because you told me not to.
You gotta go back and watch the real one.
No, I'm just gonna let you tell me about it.
We all had vastly
different experiences with this movie.
I wrote, because I would like to know, because the family was so creepy and it's Finnish, and I don't know what they do over there, I could have sworn at any moment we were going to get a scene of Tina's mom breastfeeding her, even though she was 13.
Fair.
I wrote down, does she still breastfeed these grown-ass kids?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be surprised.
She probably wouldn't let her son even fucking touch her. Like,
Right.
she pushed him off when he hugged her, so...
She'd hook it up to a hose. Just let it drip.
No, she'd be like, there's some expired milk in the fridge. Go drink that.
Oat milk in this house only.
Ugh.
Mateus walks sadly to the fridge, where he opens it, and there lies the expired milk that his mother told him about.
So more proof that these parents avoid their children at all costs. Tina's obviously acting weird. They find her laying under her bed and she's cuddling with their little bird girl baby. Mm-hmm. And they don't see bird girl. But the father sees a spot of blood on the bed, and the brother's like yelling, like, no, she's got something under there, she's being weird. And the dad's like, no, you have to, come on, get out of the room. This dad sees, like, obviously he assumes
she started her period.
And
he didn't want anything to do with it.
Yep.
Not equipped.
I mean, he left so fucking
He's like,
fast, you could see the outline of him in the doorway.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I understand that that's a thing, but it fucking shouldn't be.
No.
You're a dad, you have a daughter, like,
right.
And if she is laying, like, I'm sorry, but if there's a 13-year-old girl laying under her bed and you think she's on her period, it's the worst day of her life. Help her.
Yeah. Help her. Give her a hug, get her a heating pad.
Or if you see the blood in general, be like, everything okay?
Yeah.
I know.
Everything okay? I don't know, fucking ask your child if they're okay. What a concept.
Yeah.
That made me, like, unreasonably upset.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, so the dad sucks too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
He's
I thought
not
it was
just-
just,
I was
I thought it was
rooting
just
for
the
him for
mom,
a minute,
but he's complacent and complicit.
Yeah.
Like, he is definitely contributing to the downfall of his teenage daughter.
And, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, a thing we forgot to mention earlier is when when Tina met the neighbor, she also met the neighbor's dog who bit her. Yep. And it's just this cute little Frenchie.
Little French
He's
bulldog.
so cute. And, yeah.
Bird girl kills the dog.
Yep.
And then Tina buries the dog, and then the son digs the dog up, and it's
like,
hysterically funny.
It had no fucking head.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny.
And he, like, drops it, and he's like, look what Tina did!
Because he's
Ground
obviously
her.
extremely jealous of the affection that his sister gets from their mother, because the father gives out none, and the mother clearly
Only.
hates him.
Yeah.
And so he has this resentment for his sister.
And he just wants some attention. He gets nothing.
None.
Yeah.
You can hear him acting out a lot. When they're singing him the little lullaby, he keeps yelling for it to be louder. And I'm going to be honest, after I watched this for the second or third time, all day at work the next day, I was going, ah. I was like, Jesus Christ, Casey, you're gonna get fucking shot.
Yeah, it's a banger. It really is.
It really is.
And the little boy, to me, looked like Matt Damon somehow Benjamin Buttoned. Like, that's literally all I saw. But, like, Matt Damon as a
Matt
puppet in Team
Damon.
America. Matt Damon!
America.
Fuck yeah!
Coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah! Have you seen it?
Not since I remember seeing that movie once and thinking,
Puppet sex.
never again.
Yeah. I haven't watched it since yesterday. I also wrote...
I shouldn't say this on air. One of my exes was obsessed with that movie, and he's like, no, you gotta watch it again. And I had sex with him when the movie started, just so I didn't have to watch the movie, even though I knew the sex was gonna be bad.
Damn. That's how I got out of The English Patient. So when I wrote these notes, keep in mind, I was not low. And so there's all these, like...
Hi.
Continue.
There it is. You're so pretty. So all these sentences I jotted down are like non sequiturs. I don't remember writing them. I don't know what I was alluding to most of the time. Like, this page just says, but where can I get that wallpaper? And now I know. The wallpaper in Tina's room is the fucking truth.
It is
gorgeous.
Awful and wonderful and disgusting and beautiful, and I hate it and I love it.
It's ugly, pretty. It's so good. Oh god, it's so good.
It's gaudy and
her whole room, everything in Tina's room. I was like, what does it say about me that my dream room belongs to a 13-year-old Finnish girl?
That has
I don't want to unpack
bird
that.
Twin.
Yeah, I don't want to unpack that. Who's got that kind of time?
Tina does name Bird Girl. She names her Alli from the song, which is actually about an orphan. So she names her Alli, and she dresses her up and calls her beautiful and like puts a little bow. She is, again, she's literally just dressing the worst parts of her. She is making...
Yeah.
She sees the worst in her and says, no, I
Yeah.
have to make it pretty. You're beautiful. It's
You're
fine.
right. She saw her hair and she's like, oh, just a little snarl.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And she like combed it out. When
Again, I got none of that. Continue.
when Tina's giving Bird Girl a bubble bath, and it was quite literally a bird bath.
It's so
I was like witnessing. I was like, she's not giving this bird a bath.
That was pretty
Fuck
cute.
You.
But that bird was so
Yeah, they were just having a time.
And Tina has no friends. I mean, she's a weird one. But I mean, her family, like, in that family, no wonder, you know?
No.
Like,
and even though she has lived with no affection and love whatsoever, when she first finds Alli, that's exactly what she shows this creature.
She's got a pure
immediate
heart.
Love and affection, and we see later the effects of her own parents on her when Alli does something bad, and she punishes her, and she smacks herself because she knows Alli will feel it.
Yeah.
And it's literally her parents coming through her, and in the same way her parents punish her, she has to punish herself because she did wrong. And she knows it's Alli, but it's also her. And so we see that train straight from parent to child to child's child. And the way you parent affects the way the next generation will.
Yeah. So we move on to a scene where Tina is at she's, trying to get into this gymnast competition. There's only one spot left. And like we said, the neighbor girl's pretty damn good. So Tina is actually doing the little pole. What do they call that now?
The high bar.
High bar, yeah.
Sure, that thing. And she has a seizure. And she fucking hurts herself.
Yeah.
And all her mom gives a shit about is the fact that she was, like, embarrassed.
People saw it.
And it was like, yeah, exactly. And she failed.
Yeah.
And it was mid-stream. It was mid-vlog again.
Yep.
And the reason she had that little freak out is because Alli was doing something, and they're obviously connected. And so I think Alli was about to do something bad to
the brother.
I think the brother, because then she falls on purpose on her arm to stop Alli.
Yes, that's what it was.
No, it was the baby. It was Taro's baby.
Oh, I forgot. Yep.
So they go to Taro's house. The mom is like, hey, let's go spend a weekend at Taro's. Okay, yeah, bring your daughter to a booty call, like you said. Taro is widowed. He has a baby. Obviously, the mother's obsessed with this baby. It's a new mold. It's clay that she can mold into whatever the fuck she wants. It's the new thing she can. It's the new trade-in.
Yep.
And so she sees that Alli is about to do something bad to the baby. She falls.
That's totally my fault. That's further forward.
Yes.
That's way further forward. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So Tina has that was my fault. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
The audio, visual, whatever threw me off. But I think a part that we missed that is disgusting is that fucking the bird thing won't eat unless she fucking eats and vomits.
And regurgitates it because she's a bird.
It's disgusting.
And, a baby bird.
And gives extreme
eating disorder vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, she's a bulimic.
She literally binges and purges.
Yes. Binging and purging.
To make hers, to feed this bird.
And honestly, her mom comments. Yeah, her mom comments on her weight later in the movie. And I was like, fucking gross. That child weighs probably like 60 fucking pounds.
At 13.
At 13. Like, it's her mom's relationship. Like, her mom wants her to be everything she could never be. And it's just really fucking gross.
It was, again, the parallels. It was a little too real for me.
They are, so the first time they're on the way home from a gymnast thing,
they're called gymnastics competitions, and I won 3 of them. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Congratulations. I haven't won anything.
I was a competitive gymnast from like 8 through 13.
That's awesome. What'd you do?
Badly. No, I was, I did rings, I did parallel bars, I did floor exercise, and I did, pommel horse.
Holy shit. that is gotta be one of the hardest things there is.
Oh, it is, because
like, it really
you're
is.
running with, and mind you, I was like 8 through 13. There's no way I ever weighed 100 pounds during that chunk of time. I was teeny tiny. I was like this tall.
Watching them do that is
And it was
insane.
great because I was so short and I was so skinny. It took nothing to throw my whole body into the air.
Yep.
So, yeah, palm a horse, I would just get a running start, run as fast as I can, jump on the trampoline, and just hope for the best.
Yep.
Because you're throwing your body, you're doing things to your body that the human body is not supposed to do. And you're doing it 10 feet in the air with no net.
At full speed.
At full speed, and you're just hoping. So, like, I was very excited. I just wrote in all caps gymnastics on every single page.
Yep.
Because we so seldom get a horror film set against the backdrop of competitive gymnastics. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Final Destination, not the background, but do you remember that kill?
Yeah.
That was so good. One of my favorite kills.
I could barely watch it.
It's
I was
hard
like,
to
ooh, because that could have
It
been
ended up
me.
on our top 10 list.
It did.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Episode.
mortifying.
Oh, it's definitely top 5 for me.
So anyway, on the way home, Retta ends up getting attacked by Bird Girl. She has Alli, Bird Girl, has fully started to actually become Tina. We see the resemblance. She's actually like a full girl. She has shed the beak, so like the bottom half of her face is like all fucked up. But she's got the stringy blonde hair. She looks disgusting, but she looks like Tina. We can actually recognize Tina in her now. It's clearly played by the same girl. So Retta is attacked, and Tina goes to visit her at the hospital. And the absolute stark white of everything. I mean, everything is so blown out and so, like, there is nothing in frame that is not pure white. Mm-hmm. It's just such an interesting, like, obviously hospitals are white and bright, but there is nothing. Yeah. And Retta sees her and starts screaming, and it is almost dreamlike. Like, it feels like, it, like the I don't know, just like the feeling of it is very much, kind of reminded me of, very end of Carrie 76 when she's walking down the thing with the flowers toward Carrie's grave.
And they had to film it
in reverse
to give it that dreamlike quality.
Yep, which is why that's car's going backwards and that That's why it definitely felt like that. It was I mean, honestly, my very favorite thing about this movie was the cinematography. It was a beautiful movie to look at. And honestly, what I wrote down, because I wanted to make sure to remember, was American Psycho. Because I feel like with this movie, first off, I can watch American Psycho on mute and still enjoy it. I love it. Yes. Because that's just... American Psycho is, at its core, it's just a 2-hour music video. Yeah. That's all it is. And so I felt that way about Hatching. I was like, I could put this on in the background on mute and do something else and just have it on and just be enamored. Like, it was so fucking beautiful. All the sets, the costumes, the way that they used pure white, almost like an egg. So yeah, so like every scene was at least just a little eggy, and like the parallels between the egg hatching and cracking, and then all the cracks in the facade of this fake life that the mother, like, and the more that Alli grows, the more that Tina's insecurity and anger are growing, and this, you know, this vile thing that she has in her that's been instilled by her mother that she doesn't know what to do with is being produced into another evil version of her. Now it's
personified, and she can see it. Yep. She can hurt it by hurting herself. Yes. Yeah, it was...
She tries to shut it out. She tries to get it to go away, because obviously... After the whole baby thing, Taro is like, get the fuck out of my house. Your daughter needs therapy. You need therapy. And the mother blames her, of course. And, you know, she's trying to shove it away. She's trying to rid herself of it, even though she never can. There is no one without the other. You can't get rid of those things. You cannot put it into an egg and hatch it into something else that you can make go away.
Again, doesn't Scandinavia have free healthcare? I'm just saying, couldn't they all get some therapy? I mean, granted, we wouldn't have a movie.
You have to want to help yourself.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a movie if they all went to therapy and got the help that they clearly needed. But watching it, I was like, bitch, talk to someone. Get on Lexapro. Do something. Like, it is not that bad.
Well, another thing I thought was, like, the mom is so villainous. Like, when they're in the hospital, like, when they're leaving the hospital, she's just like, this little girl has her fucking, Rayetta has her jaw wired shut.
And,
like,
her arm is severed.
Her arm
halfway through.
And her mom's just like, it's a shame she won't be able to compete. I'm like, you fucking psycho bitch.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the competition, when she was trying to get in Retta's head, she's like, did you find your dog yet? Knowing the dog was buried in their garden.
Yep.
A fucking cunt.
Absolutely. So they finally get back to the house. The mom is obviously upset. The dad is ignoring it. The brother is smug because Tina got in trouble. Tina is no longer the perfect golden child.
Yep.
And she finally tells her mom about Alli, and she keeps repeating, she and the mom and everyone else keep repeating, everything is its fault. It's putting the blame on an outside force.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the family. We are the family. This is this weird outside thing.
It's perfect, its fault. I promise.
If it wasn't for this thing, everything would be perfect. Everything is its fault. Once we get rid of it, the outside it'll be fine.
And honestly, like, I wrote that Bird Girl reminds me of, like, that one coworker that everyone hates, and they become this punching bag, this, like, faceless entity where you can put all your rage onto during a dinner rush. That's what that reminded me of. I'm like, oh, I have worked with that girl 6 or 7 times. Yeah. Oh, totally.
What were you going to say?
Say
we'll edit this in post.
Anyway.
The part that really like made me like seething with rage was when the mom is making Tina practice her routine in Taro's yard, and Tina's clearly exhausted. She can barely go through it. It was painful to watch. It was so upsetting because, like, I did gymnastics, I did theater, I did baseball, I did soccer. Like, my parents were not stage parents. They did not care if I won or lost.
Right.
Just that I tried. That I applied myself, that I had a good time, that I treated my teammates with respect. Like, they were good parents in that regard.
Right.
They were shitty at everything else. But anyway, hi, Mom.
Hi.
So, no, she's not watching. She doesn't know how to turn on YouTube. But they, watching this little girl go through that was already hard enough. And then the mom starts screaming at her. And it wakes Tara's baby, and the mom says, oh, sweet thing, was Tina being too loud? And Tina didn't say a word. I wanted to fucking throw something at the TV. I was enraged.
Oh my gosh.
Because I have met her. My dad was married to her for 13 years. Like, I know that woman.
Yeah.
And the woman who plays Tina's mom, it was incredible. Like, you have to.
She does it so perfectly.
Yeah. I feel like it's a Regina George situation where, like, in real life, I bet she is the kindest, most beautiful woman.
I bet.
Because you kind of have to be to play someone that evil and hateable.
Yep.
Like, if you're a bitch, you're not going to be able to play a bitch.
No.
It's going to come off forced. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't have a single con for this movie. I thought it was a wild ride. I'm glad I took it. I loved literally everything about it, especially the ending.
Oh my god, yeah. So we they're obviously searching for...
Did they tell you what you were watching during the ending? Did they say, walking down the hallway, floor creaks?
They did, okay? What I was gonna say that I heard and watched Was it?
I read myself a good time.
What I said is the mom was surprisingly calm when she was getting the knife to
The
fucking...
encounter. Mm-hmm.
Well, she
was
sees
like-
both of them, and she's like, what the fuck is that? And Tina literally says, I hatched it.
Mm-hmm.
I did
And
this.
she was like, yeah, and that's when that comes into play, that it did everything.
Yeah.
It killed the dog.
Everything is its fault.
Everything is its fault. And then...
The mom's like, oh, great, my daughter's still perfect. Let's take care of this.
Yeah. And then it was like... then it was the one and only time the mother and daughter bonded through that entire movie was when they were trying to kill a less perfect version of the daughter.
Kill all the bad things about
Fuck
Tina.
you!
Let's go
It's
kill
so
all
good.
the worst parts of you. Let's go. Come
Uh-huh.
on, mother,
Together.
daughter. Together.
They
I
both
love
had a
you.
knife. They were ready for whatever happened. It was...
And then, of course, when, in that moment, you're gonna defend that part of you.
Mhm.
In even the worst parts of you,
Mm-hmm.
it's you. And when someone is attacking you, physically, mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally, you're gonna defend yourself. You're
Yeah.
gonna get backed into a corner and you're gonna react and defend
Yeah.
yourself. Every rabid dog will.
Mm-hmm.
And so she steps in front of Alli to defend her from her mom's knife stab, and Tina gets stabbed in the chest.
In the fucking heart.
Right in the heart.
Yeah.
Right where Jill stabbed Charlie Walker.
Yep. Just
Mhm.
right in the center of the chest. Boom. And the mother's face when she realizes what she's done, like she was acting her ass off. It was so good.
And so, yeah.
And my favorite part of that was when Tina got stabbed, there was obviously shock. There was sadness that she was going to die.
Mhm.
But then there was that little sparkle in her eye, like, I'm finally free.
Yeah, she's like, well,
I'm finally...
if this is what it takes.
Yeah. If this is what it takes to get away from my mother.
Yeah. And get away from everything.
Yeah.
And so she falls onto Alli. There's this... Because her face had, like, broken open again. And it heals the sacrifice of Tina. Just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and it...
Tina's blood drips slowly into Ali's mouth.
And it,
And it heals the last part of her that wasn't perfect.
And makes her eyes, like, they go from that milky to that blue that
Yes.
Tina has. And she
Mhm.
fully becomes Tina. Like,
Yeah.
the only difference is she's dirty now. And
Yeah.
she's gross.
That's what the narrator told me.
And, okay, so I'm gonna be honest. First time I watched this movie, I was so caught up in what was going on and the theatricality of it, the
Mhm.
effects, and just the batshit over the top, like, what the fuck is going on? I thought, oh yay, replacement daughter. She's gonna be, like, the mom's gonna be fine now.
Yeah.
And this time I also got that, but there was also... And I do see that happening. Like, I think that that's what the movie is saying is, like, yeah, obviously they're just going to try to go on as a perfect family. That's who the mom is. But there's also this look in the mom's face like, oh, fuck, I really do have to live with this. Like, I have to look at her every day and
Mhm.
know,
And knowing...
like, that's not mine. But, like, and
Yeah.
like, there's this knowing in her face of, I'm gonna go on with this. This is, okay, cool. Like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's not oh, great, I have a replacement daughter. It's, I will never be anything other than what I am. And this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through with this.
Yeah.
Like, this is... I don't know if the mother had that level of self-awareness. She should have after everything. But, some people never get it.
Yeah.
More often than not,
Yeah.
it's not gonna change a person.
Yeah.
They're gonna go back to their old ways.
And I mean, I have things like that I struggle with, like
Yeah.
deflecting and,
Same.
so there are certainly things that I want to change about myself, but I think that you said it beautifully. Like, at the end of the day, I would protect all of me
Mhm.
at all costs, even the parts that I hate.
Absolutely.
And
And you can you can punish the parts you hate.
Mm-hmm.
You can smack them away. You can try to push them out, and you can defend yourself
Hide them
against
under your
them.
bed.
Hide them under your bed. Hide them away from everybody. And yet still nurture them because they are you in every sense. And you can hate them and, you know, punish them in every way. But when an outside force does, there is an innate humanness to defending that. Like, I know I'm toxic. I know I have toxic traits. Everyone does. But if someone calls them out, I will be the first one to defend myself and say, no. No. Like, shut that shit out.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I mean, I just think, are you okay?
Are you okay?
No.
Me either.
Oh.
No, I was just telling the fans that I'm perfect.
Oh, that's fair.
That's what the narrator told me, at least.
I swear to God.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells here.
Oh.
Pew, pew, pew. I've been waiting to use that one.
Yeah.
I had nothing good to say about this movie, so I've just been thinking about puns while you guys talk.
Well, I thought of one a couple minutes ago.
Hit me.
Well, first off, I wrote down that this movie reminded me so much of Ginger Snaps.
Oh, yeah.
The way that Ginger's werewolf was an allegory for her burgeoning womanhood. And that's basically what's happening with Tina and Alli and, you know...
Catherine Isabel.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't even talk about the metaphor of the burgeoning womanhood and an egg. Her having an actual egg that she hatches some, you know what, we didn't even, there's so, I mean, you could write pages and pages and pages about the underlying themes and motives and tropes and just everything that is right beneath the surface. And then you could write another 100 pages on everything right below that. And then you could write another 100 pages on everything that is on the surface. Like the fucking, I mean, just like the set effects, the makeup designs, the acting, I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Everything is amazing. The direction itself, the lighting, the everything. Just everything about it.
I loved it.
My whole thing I forgot to mention earlier is Taro. Hot. We loved him. But his wife died during childbirth. How old do we think that baby is?
9 months. 6 months. 6 to 9.
6, yeah.
How long has that mom been seeing him that she already wants to move in with him and she's in love with him?
Oh, I think they've only been seeing each other a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's pretty recent, and I think, because he was, like, fixing
pretty
something in their house.
Yeah.
I think he was their electrician, or, like, their
He was
handyman.
their handyman.
He moved on quickly, is what I'm saying.
Well,
he was manipulated by the devil herself.
I know, I really like Taro.
He,
like we said,
the second something happened to his
Not
baby.
to beat a dead bird, but Taro could spin me like a rotisserie chicken.
He was the only, like, one that actually, like, he cared about Tina. I see what you're saying, yes.
Yeah.
He cared about...
I'm a lot like a rotisserie chicken. You keep it a secret when you eat me in the parking lot. Oh.
Taro was the only one that cared about Tina. Like, he was upset when the mother was not feeding her.
He was
when
the moral
she
compass
was,
for the audience, for sure.
When
he
pushing her to do, like, the routine over again. It was...
She, like, smashed his hand in the door, and she came downstairs with all her bags packed. She's like, I'll be on my way. I'll wait for my dad, or I'll just go. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. And
until Bird Girl tried to eat the baby, kill the baby.
Yeah.
Then he couldn't really be like, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, the end is...
I would love to hear more about what you...
read.
Well, just, like, what your experience was with this movie. Because, like...
I thought I've been pretty clear about that. It was,
well, just because, like,
I got none of these things.
I saw it first in the theaters, and I thought, this is absolutely insane, and I can see what it's about. But then, the second time I watched it, I caught all these things.
Yeah.
that I didn't catch the first time, and I just even watching it, like, I don't know, I can't imagine watching it that way. I want to know.
I couldn't imagine watching it the normal way, apparently.
Did you find any of the parts funny? Did you, did it make sense at all?
No, I really thought that it was just this movie about this girl who had hatched this bird, that they felt what the other was feeling. And this...
I hate that for you.
Yeah.
Does it make more sense now?
Yes.
Does it seem like a better movie?
Lot about it.
Yes, I learned about this movie today.
Okay.
Because it just...
Yeah, you did.
You probably should have went back and rewatched it.
Yeah, Casey. I'm aware I probably should have, but I fucking didn't, so here we are.
Well, you had time after I told you that you fucked up. So.
I have depression.
It's true. And she has a job. She works a lot.
I do my best.
I'm out of eggs.
And she's got...
Oh, God. God, that one really got me.
Okay.
The moment of silence as we all just...
I can't wait to watch that in real time.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that was so good. Okay.
You want to see someone fall apart in front of you? Smash that like button.
Again, this is one of those, if you're just listening to the podcast, go watch the video on
Okay,
YouTube. Do yourself a favor.
Because I look at the camera a lot.
That's the thing. We need to... We need to actually start a TikTok where, for the people who don't exclusively watch the YouTube, can get the best parts in little
snippets.
clips.
Like like that moment where we're all just like...
We did not rehearse that.
No.
That's just who we are.
That's
Oh my god.
Birds of a feather, am I right?
Ew.
I just thought of one. What if we called it Ginger Flaps?
I didn't like that laugh.
Oh, God.
Okay, I know you meant birds, but that is
Oh,
not what I think.
Oh, you're talking about...
I was too!
I meant
Does the
flapping
carpet-
of the wings.
Does the carpet match the trees?
Yeah, it's got long silky... Jesus Christ. I have come undone. We should wrap this up.
It's getting late.
I am crying real tears. I told
I've
you
been
I'm
up
tired.
since-
I'm so
I
tired.
have been up since 5:45.
Oh, God.
And I have depression.
And I'm out of eggs.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Zach, for being here.
Yes.
You're
again.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
This is like lucky number 5.
Yes.
I know. I live here now.
So the schedule has changed a little bit. It was constantly changing. We just adjust how we need to. So this will come out obviously the week after Scream 6. I think the week after this we're gonna do the Deep House. It is something I've been wanting to watch for a while. It came out last year. No, I think it came out 2021. And it looks so good. I really want to watch it, and I think it'd be fun for us to cover. I think it's
I may
about
have
some
seen it.
scuba divers that find a house underwater, and I think it's haunted.
Okay, no, I have not seen that.
It looks incredible.
I've almost watched it
yes, me
several
too.
times, but for whatever reason, I always talk myself out of it.
Me
I'm like,
too.
I'm not in the right
And
mood. It's not
I've
the right
heard
time.
it's amazing.
Okay, hell
It's
yeah,
so-
I'm excited.
Definitely one I would want to watch alone.
And I think it's on Amazon Prime
with
right
all
now.
the lights off.
Yes,
Yeah.
it looks, and I'm terrified of deep water.
Me too.
So I think it'll be very good. So I think that's what we're going to cover the week after. And then a few weeks after that, we are finally going to have Yuzu on the podcast. If any of you watch, or if any of you have seen the artwork on the podcast of the two of us, that is Yuzu. And he is going to...
I love him so much.
He is going to come over. We're going to watch Martyrs together, because I haven't seen it.
Yuzu and I are so ready.
Did you say Marauders?
Martyrs.
Martyrs.
Yes,
Okay.
sorry. I was like, did I say Marauders? No,
No,
Martyrs.
there's a scary movie called
Yes, no,
Marauders,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I was just making sure we were on the same page.
That's what the narrator said. So I'm really not that dumb. I just play I play it on TV.
Yeah.
I'm not dumb. I'm just drawn that way. Anyway.
Look how cute I am, though.
So, in the meantime,
but we're excited to watch it with you.
Yes, make sure you send requests our way. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube. Please rate us wherever you listen to podcasts, especially on Spotify and
5 stars,
iTunes.
Angel.
Yeah.
5 stars, Angel. 5 stars. We will do that every week until we get 1,000,000 5 stars.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, make sure you follow us on Insta and Twitter at Deepers Creepers. Email us at deeperscreeperspod@gmail.com. And until next week,
Stay spooky. Bye.